back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to achieve this no makeup look. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, please keep watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel please, and ring the notifications bell. It's so warm. Okay guys, so the first thing you want to do for like a more natural no makeup look or whatever you want to call it is moisturize, obviously. So I use my ordinary moisturizer, this one right here. This one is called Natural Moisturizing Factors Plus HA. I love this one so much. So I'm gonna take a dollop right here. I'm gonna take a little bit and add it everywhere. And then what I do is I take a bit of sunscreen. So this is the Photo Ultra Isdin Age Repair Water Light Texture, this one right here. And this one has 50 protection. So I'm gonna take a bit of that and add it everywhere as well. Make sure that you don't get like any spots from the sun, or you don't get... It's good to always use sunscreen, especially because now it's like super sunny and beautiful. Well, at least where I'm living here. So yeah, I always use 50 protection for my face every single day. Next up, I'm gonna moisturize under my eyes. So I'm gonna use the Origin Ginseng Refreshing Eye Cream to Brighten and Depuff. This one right here. This is my favorite, well, one of my favorite eye creams. And I always use this finger because it's the one that uses least pressure. And I also add it to my lid and underneath my eye. Okay, so once everything is nice and bright, because this cream is like super brightening and it makes your skin super glowy and looks beautiful, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for like a natural glowy skin. It's all about the skin. So next up, I'm gonna use a BB cream. These are two of my favorite BB creams. This one is a CC cream and this one's a BB cream. So this one is from Garnier's, the BB cream original, well, the normal one, the classic one, and I got the one light, this one right here. And I also have the one from Skindor, the CC cream. And this is in the shade 1, this one right here. This one is a little bit more fair and this one is a lot darker. So I might maybe either mix them up or we will see which one is better. So I'm gonna take some of the Garnier one. So I'm gonna take a bit of this one, and if I see it's, I think I added too much. If I see it's too light coverage for me, if I see it's too light for me, then I'll just switch to the CC cream. That one's a little bit darker. Yeah, see, I think that's a bit too light for me, especially since these days I've been tanning a bit. Oh my god, I used so much. Okay, don't use this much. Oh crap. I'm just gonna add it down my neck because I used quite a lot and I don't want it to go to waste. I'm gonna add it to the forehead, around my temples. I'm also using my Juno & Co sponge, this one right here, my yellow sponge. I love this one so much because especially with BB creams, you don't want something that would soak up the product. So this sponge is perfect. Oh my god, it is so warm in here. I'm boiling. It's like 25 degrees outside. And I don't want to turn my air on because then you can like hear it and it's quite annoying. So I'm just gonna have to suck it up. Okay, so that turned out okay. I think this one was perfect for me, this one right here. But yeah, this one is really good as well. This kinder one. It's as I said, it's these are my two favorites. So next up, I'm gonna go in. Oh, I didn't use a primer. I usually don't use a primer when I use a very light coverage foundation or a BB cream or a CC cream. And if it's like a day look, I just moisturize and I use the moisturizer as a primer. So, but you can use a primer as well if you want to. It's up to you. Then I'm gonna take some concealer. I have to conceal because I have very dark circles. But if you don't have dark circles, obviously you can use a more like coverage concealer, or if you don't want to use concealer, don't use concealer at all. But I'm just gonna use my Too Faced Born This Way concealer, this one right here in the shade Light Beige, and I'm gonna use a tiny amount right here. Well, a tiny amount. I actually use a lot because otherwise it's not gonna cover anything. I'm also gonna use a tiny bit here where I have a bit of redness on my chin and just right here. Not too much, just a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna blend that out with my beauty blender, with my Juno & Co sponge. And I'm also gonna add a tiny bit on my lid. So what's left over from the under eyes, I'm just gonna add it to the lid and blending it out. And do the exact same thing on the other eye. And I want even more glowy skin because I can't have enough. So I'm gonna use you can either use these ones, well, you can use whatever you want, obviously. But I have two options here. I have the Marc Jacobs Dewdrops, which are these ones right here. They're my favorite. And for like a deeper skin because I'm a little bit more tan right now. I have the L'Oreal Accord Parfait highlighter, and this one is in the shade Doré Glow, Dorato, Brillo Dorato, whatever. This one right here. I'm gonna add it to the high points of my cheeks. It might be a little bit too dark for me, so I'm just gonna start with a small amount, and then I'm gonna blend it out with my Kiko brush and see if it's not too dark for me. I think it's a bit too dark for me, so I might go in with the dewdrops from, what's it called? Marc Jacobs. I think I'm gonna add a bit more because it looks pretty good so far. It doesn't look like it's too deep for me. And I'm also gonna add it to the, I'm gonna say to the chin. I'm gonna add it to the forehead, to the chin, nose, and a bit more on the cheeks. You see, it's glowy, but it's not extreme. So, yeah. And then I'm also gonna add it to my temples. Gonna blend out the nose and the chin. And because it's still not enough for me, you can stop right here if you want to, but I'm gonna add a bit more highlighter. So I'm gonna use my highlighter from Jouer in the shade Skinny Dip, I think it's called. Yeah, in the shade Skinny Dip. But instead of taking a precise brush, this one that I have from Morphe, this one right here, I'm actually gonna take a dual fiber brush. This one right here. This one is from Revolution. It was super cheap. It was like 3 or 4 euros, and it's great. So I'm gonna take a bit of highlighter and just basically set that highlighter that we added. And I'm not gonna be specific. I'm actually gonna blend it into the skin, and then doing the exact same thing on the other side, and then using what's left of it on the forehead. Then I'm gonna take my beauty blender and I'm gonna pat it to make sure everything is super blended. Next up, I'm gonna set what has to be set. So I'm gonna take my Arsemi powder, and I just switched it to this one so it's a little bit easier for me to use. It's the normal Arsemi powder, and I just don't like the packaging that it comes in. It's not super user-friendly. So what I do is I just move it into this NYX container, and like this I can use it very, very easily. So I'm gonna take my Real Techniques 201 brush, this one right here, and I'm gonna set just this side of my face because I don't want to set that highlighter because we've already set that before. Also a little bit the forehead, not too much. I'm gonna take my beauty blender again. Then once we've added the once we've added the highlighter and the concealer and all of that, I'm gonna set the concealer. And I'm also gonna set the brows because I don't want the brows to like slip around. And then I'm also gonna set around my nose and down here because that's where I sweat the most. And then this powder right here, I'm just gonna remove it with the brush. I've removed a tiny bit of the highlighter, so I'm gonna go back in with my Jouer highlighter in Skinny Dip. And this time I'm actually gonna take the dual fiber brush again and just add a bit more to the forehead. I'm actually not gonna do my brows. I'm just gonna use my brow plumber and I'm gonna go over them. But if you wanna do your brows, you totally can. But if I'm doing like a no makeup day, I'm not gonna bother with a pomade. And I'm gonna go a little bit more heavy than usual because I'm just using this. I probably should use my mirror closer to me, I can't really see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna do my other brow as well. So I'm brushing it upward, and then for the end I'm just brushing it like a bit more downward, but you can do it the way you like it. This is just how I like it. Next up, I'm gonna use some contour. Okay, I'm gonna start with my butter bronzer, this one right here. Oh, it smells amazing, I love it so much. And I'm gonna use my dual fiber brush from Better, and I'm just gonna add a tiny bit. I'm gonna add it to the temples, the forehead, the areas. Only using a little bit because it's too light for me now. So then I'm gonna go back in with my Marc Jacobs bronzer, this one right here. This is the Omega Bronze in the shade Tantric. I'm gonna use the same brush and just add a bit more because we wanna look sun-kissed and tanned and just look ready for summer. Also add a bit down your jawline. Make sure it's all like blended. At this stage, it's up to you if you want to contour or not. I am gonna contour because I feel like I need it and I feel like it completes the look. But if you want it to be more natural and you don't want to contour, don't do it. I'm gonna use my Hula contour, this one right here, and I'm gonna use my Zoeva Rose Gold brush number 109, this one right here. And I'm just gonna contour lightly. I'm not gonna contour too much. That's what I always say, at least, and then I end up contouring everything. Next up, I'm gonna take one of my favorite palettes. I think this one sold out, but if you guys can find it, it's just amazing. This is my Becca palette, this one right here. It is so gorgeous, and from the Après-Ski Glow collection, the Eyelight palette. And then I'm gonna take my Morphe E28 brush, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Rose Quartz. Well, this one right here. I'll show you. Just this one right here. So you want like a very light brown, and if it's a shimmery color, that's even better, because I actually like using shimmer in the crease, especially for the summer. I think it looks really pretty. So yeah, it's up to you. So I'm just gonna pack that everywhere, and I'm not being super careful. You don't want to be too specific because it has to look as if you didn't make any effort of doing this look. It has to look effortless. That's what I was looking for. So I'm just gonna blend it out just like that and do the exact same thing on the other eye. Now I'm gonna go in with this a bit more reddish shade, this one right here. This one, it's called Hot Cocoa. So we want like a more reddish, deeper shade now, and I'm gonna add that to the outer corner. And again, I'm not using a specific brush, I'm just adding it, well, basically like slapping it on, and I'm using circular motions to blend it out, and then I'm gonna bring it in to the crease, and then to the inner corner as well, and then bringing it out to the outer corner. So my birthday is coming up and we can't go anywhere, so we're gonna stay at home. And I was thinking of doing like an interesting meal. It's this Friday, and I'm gonna celebrate it with my parents and my boyfriend. It's gonna be super small. My neighbor's probably gonna come as well because she's my friend as well. And I was thinking of doing like a blue cheese dip, some guac, maybe some coconut shrimp. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I just made conversation. And maybe I was thinking of doing a mushroom stroganoff. I have not tried doing that. And maybe also some bruschetta. I love bruschetta. Okay, now I'm gonna take my Ubu brush and I'm going to go into that shade again, that hot cocoa shade. And this time I'm gonna smoke out my lower lash line. And I'm gonna create sort of an outer V-shaped corner thing, whatever you wanna call it. I used to do this look all the time last year, but then I kind of stopped. I don't know why. And I used to love it so much. Everyone would compliment me on this look. So I created sort of a smoky eye effect, and now I'm gonna take my Zoeva 221 crease brush, this one right here, and I'm just gonna blend everything out, bringing it into the inner corner and blending out the lower lash line as well. And then I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna go in with the shade Topaz, this gold shade right here, and I'm just gonna add it to the inner corner, and then gonna blend it out with my finger, and then I'm gonna use my blender brush. So I'm just patting that on, and it's not too shimmery. It's not like too overboard. It just gives you that little, just gives you like a hint. And because it's not enough for me, you can stop right here. I'm gonna add a bit more highlighter. I'm sorry, I'm making so much noise. I'm gonna use my Jouer highlighter in the shade Skinny Dip, and I'm gonna use my finger as well. And then just take a bit more of the highlighter and add it to the inner corner and the lid. I love using highlighter on my lid because it just looks so bomb. Then I'm gonna take my Zoeva blender brush again, and blend out the edges. I'm also gonna add some of this highlighter to my inner corners. Now I'm gonna add some of my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, this one right here. So I'm gonna coat my top and bottom lashes. Okay, I was gonna take my lip liner in BFF, but I can't find it anywhere. So I'm gonna take my ColourPop lip liner in the shade Little One. So I'm just gonna line my lips. And then I'm gonna take my lipstick from ColourPop in the shade Button, this one right here. It's like a peachy one. And I'm not gonna add too much. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit to the center. I'm gonna blend it out with my finger. I'm gonna take my gloss from Dior in the shade 257 Pearl, this one right here. And I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of gloss in the center of the lips. Okay guys, so we reached the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the look. I think it looks really pretty. Obviously this is my version of a natural makeup look. It's obviously if you don't wear a lot of makeup, maybe this is a bit much for you, but I usually wear quite a bit of makeup. So this is, as I said, my version of it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me comment down below if you want to see any other looks like this. Don't forget to ring the notifications bell. Give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next video guys as always. Bye!